Wow.
We did it.
Major accomplishment.
All right, so tell me where you're at and what I can help you with.
Okay, well, let's see. So I consider myself an intermediate in my skills. I've been playing in bands for a while, mostly classic rock, funk, R&B bands. Um, so my role in those situations is chords, backup, fairly straightforward chords, do some lead work. I've also been working a little bit on some jazz um, methods and instructions. I've been going through Tim Richards' book, Exploring Jazz Piano, and then one by Mark Levine, the Jazz Piano book. And I'm leaning more and more towards wanting to learn more of as a jazz piano soloist.
Okay.
Uh, there's
Solo
nothing.
piano or a group?
Um, at this point, I'm tired of groups, and I'm thinking more solo piano.
Okay. And then where are you at with that now? So like if like well first of all, do you have a real book?
Actually, I have it on Kindle,
PDF?
which was a mistake. It's not very effective. I need to buy a spiral-bound copy of that.
Okay. All right. So you know where to get it. Go on to Amazon and you can get it on Amazon. It's
Yeah,
about 25 bucks.
yeah.
I would suggest getting the first one and then the third one as well.
Okay.
I mean, like if you have the budget and you can get all three, then get all three. Just make sure it's the Hal Leonard one. Don't get the legal real book. It's just if you need um, a if well, you know what? Take a look at it. If you need help with that, just let me know. I'm just typing in the real book right now. Yeah, I should say sixth edition. It's $19 on Amazon.
Okay.
Um, and well, actually, here I'll do this. You'll see this in the video
Okay.
because I'm recording video right now. So it's right here. That one. Make sure you get the C edition. There's volume 2. This is the C edition, and then volume 3. Where is it? There should be a volume 3 in here somewhere. Well, you got a lot of volume 4 now too. Jeez. Okay, so anyway, all right, good. So can you play anything now, like solo jazz wise?
Well, I'm really working through the workbooks. I can play some simple stuff, you know.
Why don't you play something for me so I can kind of hear where you're at? So do you
Okay.
have any jazz standards that you're working on?
Just some things I've been sight reading. Actually, I'm trying to figure out why I'm not getting a sound out of the keyboard. Hang on a second here.
Have you been
Um,
through the My Romance lesson on my site?
I don't know if I have or
It's this.
not.
That's the song.
Yeah, I think have touched it, just to it, but I haven't really done anything with it.
Okay, well, in that lesson, what I do is I lay out a whole approach which I call step-by-step standards, and and um, some of this is going to be easy for you, I'm sure, but I'm not. I got to figure out where the gap is and where the hole is. Okay, so the first thing you would do is you go through the standard, just playing single note melody, single note root in the left hand along with the melody in the right hand. Pretty simple. Right? And then from there, you add on the root in the seventh or the root in the third. And then from there, you bring whatever other note in the right hand that you weren't playing in the left hand. So if you were playing root and seventh in the left hand, then you play the melody, and then you add the third in the underneath the melody. So third, and then from from there, then you start adding in some tensions, 9, sharp 11, stuff like that, and then that's your basic shell for how to be able to take a song out of the real book and create an arrangement of it. From there, then we can get into bass lines, we can get into different types of tritone substitutions and dominant motion and all of that kind of stuff, reharmonization techniques. And then also some different chord voicings as well. But that's the basic steps for being able to take any of these, like especially ballad style songs, and to be able to create an arrangement from them. Okay, so does that sound like something you can do? Does it sound like where's that in the realm of what you do now?
It sounds very doable. I mean, I can do stuff like.
Can you hear your keyboard?
It's not very loud, but I'm having trouble getting the balance between the output from Skype and what the output from the piano, because it's all coming through the laptop.
Okay. Yeah, I can't hear it at all. So, are you using like a virtual instrument on your laptop? Okay. Yeah. That won't work probably. Probably what you'll need to do is you'll need to plug in some type of external speaker and then let the laptop mic pick it up to be able to hear it on Skype.
Well, actually, that's what I'm doing right now. Can you hear it now?
No. And I can hear you. I can hear you push on the key, but I can't hear any sound.
Okay, because I've got it coming through a pair of speakers. And I'm not sure why the microphone, which is picking up my voice, and you're hearing it's not picking up the sound of the piano.
Can you turn one of the speakers toward the laptop?
Yeah, I mean, I just did. So let me turn it all the way in that direction.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. You'll have to see, like in the video when I send you the video, can't hear anything, like not even a peep, nothing. Kind of odd. Anyway, I mean that's okay. I mean, so what I'd like you to try doing is start with that My Romance lesson first. So if your goal is to go through and do like kind of like cocktail piano, solo piano, you should definitely go through that lesson first. Now, let me give you a warning on this. Like, what I find a lot of times, okay, and I'm not saying that you're going to do this, but what I find a lot of times is students be like, oh yeah, root 7. No problem, I got that. And they kind of butcher their way through it. And then the problem is if you don't have each one of those things down well, when you add the next layer, it's just like a house of cards and it's just going to all fall apart. Even something as simple as playing the root in the left hand. Like if your finger is like all over the place and you can't play it smooth, the real goal should be each one of those steps you should be able to play. Now, if there's any hesitation there, or it's not fluid like that, or you're having problems reading the melody or fingering or anything like that, then that means you need to stick with that step a few days more and really master that, okay? So that's a pain in the butt. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it's a real pain, and that's where the rubber meets the road. But if you can do that, you're going to be better off for it, okay? Because otherwise, you start building upon it. It takes much, much longer to learn it, and then it gets very frustrating, okay? And there is a method to the madness, right? I share it on the video as well, but I'll tell you real briefly. Like, if I'm at a gig, and you say, hey, can you play My Romance or something? And they're like, oh, geez, I got it here, but like, I can't really, well, here, it's like Okay, I mean, I kind of got a little something there. I'm not going to win any awards on that. It's real basic and simple, but it's something. It's a lot better
Yeah.
than saying, yeah, no, I can't play it. Okay?
Yeah.
So for you to be able to pull out a song and be able to create the most basic of basic arrangements, but be able to do it fluidly like that, is a great skill. Okay? Because
Yeah.
now you can
Sorry.
open up the real book and like you can open up the real book and create an arrangement. There will never be there is no greater love, right? So, and that's like something a little bit more bouncy like that. So you could do a bass line, but let's say you don't have the skill yet to do the bass line. At least something like that gives you a fighting chance to create an arrangement, right? So that's why we start with that most basic skill and then work up from there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So the books that I'm going through, one of them suggests real strongly to learn the 2-5-1 progression in all keys is
Yeah.
kind of a starting point. Does that sound like a good idea?
No, not right now. And I'll tell you why. Like I have a different approach in this. It's like if you told me like, yeah, I'm like really way into this. I'm going to be gigging. I'm working with a group. It's like, I want to be writing my own stuff. It's like, it sounds to me, and tell me if I'm off base here, but it sounds to me like you want to learn how to play some of this cocktail piano style and then kind of see where it goes from there, right?
Yeah, and I would like to really at some point to get paid a little bit for doing this. Restaurants, something low key.
Let me tell you, like even knowing the 2-5-1 progression is not a prerequisite to getting paid. The prerequisite to getting paid, can you play stuff that people like listening to?
Yeah.
Is basically
Yeah.
it, right? Whether or not you even know what you're doing is a whole nother thing. In fact, maybe the less you know, the better, because when people don't give a hoot, it's like you don't get upset that it's like, do you know all the knowledge I have? It's like all people want to hear is the songs that they know and they love, and that's it. And like exactly what I just told you. Like somebody comes up to you and asks you to play a song where you got the sheet music in front of you. Can you play an arrangement from that right then and there? That's the skill that's more important than knowing your 2-5-1s in all 12 keys. Now, is it good to know 2-5-1s in all 12 keys? Sure. Down the road, after you have a repertoire together, then now you can start applying that stuff too. I'm always like, I teach in a way in which it's very, I want you to be able to use what it is you're learning, okay? So I'd rather you have a repertoire of 30 tunes together that then now we can start to apply these theoretical techniques to the songs, because now you have a repertoire to do something with. That make sense?
Practical.
Okay? Right.
Use.
Otherwise, it's like, oh yeah, great. Yeah. It's like I got all these 2-5-1s and stuff. Do you want to hear me play that over and over again? No. Right? Now, I will tell you something that you should be doing is go through the chord essentials. Because in the chord essentials, I actually teach those progressions, but teach them in a way that's that gives you some stuff that you could actually use. Like learning like a some simple stuff. So you learn these simple progressions and you learn them in all 12 keys. And the reason that that's really important and good is because now not only are you going to get the theory and the harmony behind it, but you're on a gig and they're like, you finish a song, you're trying to figure out, okay, what's the next song I'm going to do? All right. So somebody comes up to you and starts talking to you, like you got to keep playing something. Oh yeah, Lee, I'm here every Friday. Sometimes it's on a Thursday as well. It's like you need something that you can just kind of like play, over and over again. All right, hey, so anyway, take care. I'll see you next week. All right, cool. All right, so now you're on to the next song, because you might then need, like, you might not be able to have a conversation or fill that time on a song without giving that song your 100% focus. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone comes up and talks to you and you're like, it's kind of hard to be able to play that flowingly and whatnot while also having a conversation, or trying to skip through your book of like, what's the next song that you're going to do. Whereas these things are like, you know, oh yeah, let me do this. Okay, yeah. You know, and then you can get into your song from there. So it gives you some nice filler stuff to work on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So what was the lesson you're talking about? Chord progressions?
Yeah, let me give you the 3 things that I want you to do. First of all, you should be doing piano essentials. So the goal for 2017 that I have for all of my students is I want you to be able to play all 12 major scales, hands together, 2 octaves.
Yeah, right? I can do that. I'm
right?
good.
Can you do contrary motion as well? So contrary motion as well. I like that.
Without half the scales, I can.
Okay.
The black notes are, you know, they're my enemy, but I need to work through that.
So that's one. All right. So go through your piano essentials. Whatever key you're bad at, that's the one you start at. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know D flat or E flat, go to those keys. Start there first. Slowly. You know, start with 1 octave, 2 octaves, contrary motion. You know, do the program exactly as it's laid out. That's mm-hmm. one. Chord essentials is the other one. Chord essentials is like those 10 different mini progressions, like kind of like they're kind of like etudes, mm-hmm. like kind of. That's one of them. That's another one. That's another one. Like the 2-5-1s and all that stuff. So there's 10 different cool little snippets of music to learn in those chord essentials. So that's the second thing to do. The third thing to do is do the My Romance lesson. Okay? That My Romance lesson is going to take you several weeks to really get down well.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay. I need to